I think I'm probably the last one. I'm the last one here, I assume. So we can get started. I will call the special meeting to order, and oaths of office for the council members who were all elected, retained, etc., re-elected. So Mayor, if you'd like to take over.
I would love to. I think we'll do Brent Silver first and alone. He has
Don't do me. I don't want to be the only one alone. If we're going to do it as a group, we can do it all as a group.
Well, I just think it's wonderful that you have such family support and that they're all here. And I hope that you recognize how special it is. And you all do. Lisa does after 7 times being sworn in. Okay, that's pretty terrific. So welcome to the families. And the 4 of you, are you ready? Alan, unmute yourself.
Ready.
Okay, Judd, raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Alan Charnas,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will
that I
support
will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the rules, regulations, and charter
the rules
regulation, and charter
of Orange Village,
of Orange Village,
and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
and that I
that I
will
will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge my duties
discharge
my duties
as a council member of Orange Village, State of Ohio,
as a council member of Orange Village, State of Ohio,
during my continuance in said office.
during my
during my continuance in said office.
Congratulations, welcome aboard. If there's any of you that has not gotten the special Orange Village lapel pin, let me know. I haven't seen any of you in person, so I see your face, Amanda. You'll get one. Okay. All right, congratulations, and thanks to the families, but you're welcome to stay.
Thank you.
And Anna will give you your
Lisa.
certificate.
Oh,
Aw. I did have to convince, them to come.
I think that was meaningful.
Thank you, guys.
I can tell Jeff's reluctance in the background.
Jonah, Zachary, what do you think of your father being a councilman?
I like it.
It's serious, important, good.
Have you approached him with any special favors that you need to have addressed, boys?
that sounds illegal.
No, and it does sound illegal.
One year we got a request for more vines in the park to swing on. Right, Kathy? Remember there was a request to put more vines in the park in the past? That was funny.
All right, so now that we're all sworn in and good and happy, let's call roll, please. Anna?
Charnas,
Here,
Klein,
Here,
Silver,
Here.
Vincent,
Here.
Perry,
Here.
Kurland,
Here.
Duber.
I am here. Now moving on to the nominations to appoint council president and then president pro tem for 2022. I've enjoyed serving as council president. Hopefully everybody thinks I'm doing a good job. Happy to remain if that's what everybody wants. But at this time, why don't we call nominations for council president? Does anybody have a nomination?
I nominate Brandon Doomer for council president.
Thank you.
2022.
Mr. Charnas, I will gladly accept. Are there any other nominations? Any others? Any others? All right. Well, if that is the case, thank you all. And Steve, what's the make a motion for unanimous ballot or something of that sort?
Yeah, if there's only one nomination, the proper motion is a motion to instruct the clerk to cast a unanimous ballot and then a second and a vote on that.
All right, so I'll make a motion to instruct the clerk to make unanimous ballot. Is there a second?
Second,
Second.
Thank you. And if you'd call a roll on that, please.
Charnes,
yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Kerlin,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. Well, thank you all. I appreciate you nominating and voting for me again. Obviously, if anybody ever has things, input or whatever, please feel free to bring it forward to me. And moving on to the nomination to appoint Council President Pro Tem for 2022, I'd like to nominate Brent Silver to continue in that role. Are there any seconds? Or are there, I guess, are there any? Thank you, Ms. Perry. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay. All right. So if that's the case, then I will make a motion to instruct the clerk for the unanimous ballot for Brent Silver for President Pro Tem. Is there a second?
Second,
Thank you. Steve, see you smirking because I'm sure I butchered the language somehow, but sounds kosher to me. And Anna, if you'd call roll, please.
Charnes,
yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes, and thank you all very much.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Kerlin,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. Move on to the appointment of council representative for the Planning and Zoning ABR Commission for 2022. Is this, Steve, is this a motion and that we have to do?
Well, you can identify somebody by motion, or somebody could nominate somebody and you can have an election. But yeah, you could just move to make somebody.
Every other year that I've been
I'll move.
around, it's just been council president selecting.
Yeah, so I'll move to appoint Judd Klein to remain in that position.
I'll second it.
Are there any other, anything else anybody else wants,
It's
concerns?
just an
Judd,
appointment.
are you willing and able?
Sure. Of course I am.
Sure, all right. So I don't know if we need to vote necessarily, is that
Oh,
correct,
it's just
Steve?
his appointment.
Okay, all right. So, great. Thanks for continuing that role. I will make a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes of December 1st, 2021. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments on the minutes? All right. So if not, Anna, if you'd call roll, please.
Charnes,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Kerlin,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. And I'll make a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes of December 8th, 2021. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments on those? All right. If that's the case, then Anna, if you'd please call roll.
Charnes,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Vincent.
Yes.
Oh, she's frozen, but I think I've.
Yes.
Okay. Perry,
Yes.
Kerlin,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. Moving on to audience comments relating to agenda items only. Is there anybody in the audience who has any comments? Okay. There's no old business, no new business. Any audience members who have comments relating to matters which advance the good of the village? This is a really difficult meeting tonight. All right, so Mayor, comments.
Yes, I do have a number of comments tonight. Just next week, we do have 3 new fire officer appointees for the agenda.
Okay.
I'm sure you've all caught wind of the horrible, tragic shooting, carjack shooting of an off-duty police officer. I believe it happened in Cleveland. I'm not exactly positive about that, but I believe it happened in Cleveland.
Yeah.
The person who killed the man had a stolen car, gave it to somebody. That somebody has now, that lady has been quiet. I'm going to put it in my own words because I have a long letter that you're all going to get. I'm going to give it to Anna to forward to you, because when I was reading it, getting ready for tonight, I noticed it said that we respectfully ask that this letter be shared with Village Council. So I'm going to have Anna forward you the exact details, but basically, due to Officer Gabriel, we want him to be commended. There's no disputing that his actions, bravery, his pursuit driving skills, his superior radio communications, and sure determination is what led to the ultimate arrest of the woman who shot and killed the police officer. He caught it through a flock camera notification that the camera was nearby. The letter will explain to you in more detail, but he picked up on the car, he followed the car, he followed our police chase pursuits. At one point, it was as fast as 100 miles an hour. He stayed with the suspect until Euclid. So he went to Richmond, he got to Richmond Heights, and then the Euclid police, the Cleveland police helicopter, Richmond Heights police, they all met him and they took over, and it's been in the news, and Orange Village wasn't mentioned, and that's fine. But Officer Michael Gabriel, his smart, fast, terrific actions, if you see him, commend him. He caught a big one. He really did a good job. And his superiors listened to the tape, and they praise him for his demeanor, his professionalism. He kept calm. Okay, that was
Fantastic. Good job, Gabriel.
yeah. So I'll send that letter for Anna to send to you. Okay.
So wait, I'm sorry. So she was driving in.
Okay, so
Orange
no,
and
so
the
she
flock camera-
carjacked the car from the
Right.
guy, killed him,
Right.
turned the car over to somebody. I don't know if she knew him or it was a friend or whatever it was. That person was driving the stolen car, but he led us back to not us, but he led the police back to the killer.
He was driving it in Orange Village and the flock camera picked it
He
up.
drove through Orange Village. The
Yes.
flock camera alerted Gabriel. Well, Gabriel took one step further. He heard it, on the bulletin or the dispatch, and he made a point of getting it into our flock camera. So when the guy was in the area, he picked it up, made the right assumption which direction he was going, and followed him through Pepper Pike, through Lyndhurst, through Mayfield Heights, until the Euclid police met up on the other side. And he was brave and professional. He did great. We've had our police department tested a few too many times this year, and each time we can feel so proud. Okay.
Mayor, it occurs to me that, we've had a number of these incidents where our police have been the impetus for the capture of some criminal from someplace that may have occurred not within our community. It seems to me that we ought to be commending our police for that work, for their cooperation and collaboration with other law enforcement agencies across the region to working towards the capture of these suspects that would otherwise perhaps get away.
These police officers are light years ahead of us on working collaboratively and regionally. They're good at it. You can certainly express your appreciation to them.
Well, I deeply appreciate that they're part of that infrastructure that keeps us safe on a regional basis, not just in Orange Village.
Well, and that's our regional dispatch helps with that, and the multi-bands with, by the way, Police Chief Castro would be here tonight, but he is home with a serious head cold, tested negative, but he has been sick. And he's a guy that has never missed a day of work, so he's really sick. Otherwise, he'd be here and he would convey your messages. If you want, you can say them again next week when he's here. Okay, so I would like to lay out, as we look at the screen tonight, This is our team, folks. This is who we are going to be working with together. There are no municipal elections for 2 years. So I have a little bit of a longer timeline in my thinking because we're approaching some projects that are going to require a little bit more of a runway than just a 1-year timetable. So I sort of had our department heads think 2 years ahead. And some of these longer term, and if anybody's interested in any of the longer term projects, let me know as they roll out, because it'd be great to get some people involved, especially ones who are starting out in their Orange Village career. 2022, 2023 goals. This is the year that we do have to renegotiate our police union contract. Worse than that, this is the year we have to renegotiate our garbage contract. That's going to be much harder, probably a much more painful one. In 2022, we are required to do an update to our stormwater plan. I believe that's a 5-year update or 10-year, 5-year. Okay. Infrastructure projects in 2022. I'm not thinking ahead to 23 because a lot of it depends on some of the other things, but we are moving ahead. You have already authorized for Brian to go ahead and start the preliminary work on the Orange Hill subdivision and Miles Road culvert. So those 2 projects are at the top of our list for infrastructure projects this year. We have a project for a entry sign, welcome to Orange Village, or Orange Village entry sign at the Harvard I-271 interchange. This will come to council for approval because it's a big purchase item, but Judd has been helping using some of the materials that service department has and coming up with some schemes, and you will see it all when we're ready, and it has been budgeted. Hopefully in 2022 and 2023, we will have a community event. Hopefully we'll be able to do that this year. I think this is going to be a busy year or an active year in terms of developments. We have some good things happening. We are in process discussing for the Pinecrest residential. I have had the assistance of Alan and Judd for that. And that's moving forward. Nothing to say yet. We're trying to negotiate on density. There's talk, nothing serious, nothing to repeat, but there is action going on our undeveloped parcels, whether it's the Chagrin Highland parcel or the Weintraub property. In 2022 and even sooner, like next month, we will be coming to you for authorization to go out and bid for a new rescue squad. The rescue squad was in the budget to buy, I believe, this year, and we have all the money we've been saving. So we have the cash, the approximate $270,000 for an ambulance. But if we ordered it today, it's on like a 400-day delay. So even though we're budgeting for it, we have the money for it, we got to order it this year. We won't get it till next year, most likely. Same is true for a new $180,000, $200,000 dump truck that we have budgeted for and is slated to be ordered. I don't know what Bob's timeline is, but if he orders it soon, he won't get it till next year either. We also, now that the squad has been saved for and we're move forward on that, we will also we have been and will continue to save for a planned 2025 fire truck. That's a little more expensive, so we're squirreling away money to be ready for that too. I think we'll have a lot more conversations this year, given the new mayor in Beechwood about the boundary line over there. There's some interesting wrinkles to it all. I'm waiting for him to call me, although he said he knows I'll be calling him on his first day, but something's changed. I think he'll care about it a lot more now because they have some development going on there. Longer term, but going to be underway and moving forward is it's been 20 years since we did a sanitary sewer study review. We did an extensive one at least 20 years ago. And at that time, the decision was made not to convert to sanitary sewers, but to let the people who have septics keep their septics. And therefore, the Board of Health went around and did a lot of inspections, which they no longer do, by the way. But there was a time period where they were inspecting for failing septic systems, which is bad for the environment, of course. So we had to decide, based on a 10 or 15-year horizon, because you don't want to make a resident buy a new septic system only to turn around and charge them 25,000 for a sanitary sewer line. So enough time has passed. There's a lot of infrastructure money out there in the next year, 2, 3. We're just going to go back to the ground level. We may use the same study because our streets haven't changed, but we may update prices and whatever. And we want to find out everything there is to know about that decision that we can once again face. But I don't think we can face it until we get the facts and the figures and then use that information as part of our next community survey, which if we don't get it done in 2022, will be early 2023 if we do all the things now to get ready for it. Like we asked questions about the trails in the 2014 community survey and things we've done with newsletters. It was so helpful, the survey, and so informative. I think 9 years, I would have waited 10 years, but because of the sanitary sewer question, I think that we have some important things to talk about in the not too distant future. We also need to move ahead. And again, here, Judd has been incredibly helpful. His skills save us a lot of money and time and effort. And we're so lucky that he's willing to do all this because he has come in already and met with the fire chief and the police chief. We need to have a another round of facilities improvements, or at least plans. The fire department is in need of some alterations, and the police department is in need of another garage, a bigger garage storage space. We've looked at this a couple of times, so we're not starting at ground zero, but I do have ideas and we do have money. I don't think for the whole project. So we also have to get a feeling for the money, for the cost, but I do have ideas of how we will pay for it. So we need to get into that planning. I'm glad Bob Zugan's here tonight because I will tell you, Bob Zugan makes everything happen. He is on it. I mean, he's already done a lot of this research, ground level work. And then he and I are going to be researching and looking. I should ask if anyone else would like. I would like to see us have a nicer shelter in the park. I would like us to have a bigger shelter, maybe with a fireplace. I have grand visions in my mind of what I would like. But Bob has done some research. We're going to go look at some of the new ones around. Moreland Hills is putting in a fabulous one. I think our shelter is a little inadequate, shall I say, if we can afford it. And I meant to look up, I think we do have in our 403, we have about $140,000 in there. And with the residential times 750 per unit, I'm going to advance the idea of a better shelter. You can all let me know over the next weeks or so whether you think what your thoughts are on that too. The next year or two is going to be very critical for the building department. We're going to need informed support for working towards a future building department that is not going to consist of one commissioner who has certification in all the areas. That's just not possible. But he is coming up with some creative, and he's working with the State Board of Building Standards to see if some of his ideas of how to address succession going forward, or the future building department, I should say. But I think we have to really get that into focus in the next time period. Lots of other things, but those I think are the major highlights, and I welcome anybody's feedback and participation as we get into them. That's it. Did I leave anything off, Bob, that needs to be said? No? Okay.
Great. Thanks, Mayor. It's always more fun when you do that in person every year, because if you're like walking with your crazy list of paper.
I tried to consolidate. Yeah.
I don't really have any comments besides, we have a good solid council. I think everybody's been working well together for the last, however many years, and we have a great addition with Amanda, and looking forward to a lot of good things by our council and village coming up. So that's really my only comment. And so I will move on to Mrs. Perry.
Thanks. My only comment tonight is that thank you all for all the work you do. It's a pleasure working with you all. And I'm looking so forward to the next 4 years, more so than most times I've been sworn in. So thank you for being.
What's different about this time?
We've got just great people. You know, it's really.
Name names. Name names.
All of you. I love, wait, what is Steve's phrase? You're all special to me.
Each one is special in their own special way.
That's it. No, but
He's a
it
salesman.
really is a pleasure to work with you all. It's not always been such a well-functioning machine here, and I think we have a great thing going on. So I appreciate you.
Name names. All right.
Yay for the council president. Yay.
No, I'm not
I
saying
love
for
you.
me. I'm saying name the ones who are not here anymore. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, thank you. That's always like to hear that, Lisa, with that we have a good group here. So
Yeah, thank you.
good. All right. Mr. Silver.
First of all, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Hope it's off to a good start for everybody. Also, congrats to Alan, Judd, and Lisa for getting sworn in as well. Quick question for Bob Zugan. I know last year the service department kind of experimented with clearing off the trails when it snowed. If it ever does snow this winter, is that going to be in the works this year? I have noticed some stakes up in some areas. What's the plan for that this year?
We actually just rented for the month of January. We're trying out a smaller version of a track skid steer that will fit on the trails. And we actually work with Beechwood. They let us borrow one of their V plows that goes onto that unit. So for the month of January, and I'm sort of hoping it snows, not that I want to spend the money on salt, but we'll be trying that out. So this is pretty much going to be our last leg of figuring out what equipment we have, and then I'll discuss with the mayor how we will move forward.
If you are happy with it, is it possible we could buy one for the use for the rest of this winter, or would it be a next winter thing?
Next.
Budget will
No, how could
also
you-
have to happen with the mayor. I mean, there is a possibility that the unit that we are renting would be a purchase item there. So there might be something that we can move forward with. If we were to have to buy something new, they pretty much said that you might be into next year before you get it.
Okay. All right, glad to hear that. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
We have, Brent, we have put aside in the budget and is in reserves in the cash balances at the fund, 80,000 for what we thought would be sufficient. It may not be enough, or maybe this will work, but Bob had the foresight months ago to make this arrangement with Beechwood and to get this piece of equipment lined up. So we just hope it snows so we can do the test.
No one's going to complain if it doesn't get tested this year, though, to be honest.
It's like bringing
You
an
might
umbrella.
bring it
Like
up
bringing an
again.
umbrella on the golf course. You're assured
Yeah.
that it won't. So Bob, keep doing it. We'll have no snow.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Kurland.
Hi, I was just going to say Happy New Year, and I look forward to working with everyone. That's all.
Great, thank you.
Name names.
Stop stealing my lines. Mr. Charnes.
I just want to wish everyone a happy new year like everyone else, and a healthy one, and remind those who can and will get your vaccinations, and hopefully 2022 will be a good year for that. I want to congratulate the Duber family for the new president pro tem of the family. So it moves up to council president, I guess, of the Duber family.
Thanks.
And look
I think
forward to
I've been
working with them.
demoted. I'm like maybe
You're
You're
secretary,
low on the list now.
Fourth, you might have been voted out, so.
probably.
And that's
But
it.
thank you. I appreciate it. All right, and Mr. Klein.
Again, congratulations to my colleagues on council. Welcome back, and look forward to working with everyone as we have the last several years, and being very successful for our community. Wish everybody a happy new year. I want to again congratulate Brandon and his family on the addition of Jackson. I guess Brandon will have a whole new set of responsibilities and things that he needs to teach his son over the next number of years. Good luck with that. I know how this works out. The Planning Commission did not meet last night. We didn't have an agenda. We'll meet 2 weeks hence. I also want to sort of adding to the mayor's laundry list of vision for the next year is that my desire to kind of move forward in some type of community development strategy for 2022, 23, how we advance that, particularly given the fact that we have a number of projects that are bigger and we need to be proactive and engaging. I think that's all I have for tonight.
All right, thank you. Ms. Vincent.
Well, congratulations also to the Duber family, the growing family, and welcome to the world, Jackson. I also want to congratulate all of my colleagues on council who are sworn in tonight, and I look forward to continuing the wonderful work of Orange Village together. I had a great opportunity to tune into Woodmare's swearing in ceremony yesterday, which was held at Eaton, and I want to congratulate Mayor Holbert and all of the new council members in Woodmere as well. It was a truly lovely ceremony there. And congratulations, I think Pepper Pike is being sworn in tonight. So congratulations to them as well. In school news, classes began today for students after winter break. The mask mandate there continues. There is a vaccine clinic being held at Moreland Hills Elementary School this weekend by appointment for students and their families. The school board will hold its organizational meeting on Monday. And of course, we anticipate the announcement of the new board member who is being appointed for the vacant seat. And finally, in school news, look for your 2021 quality profile. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it because it's sort of see it there. It'll be in your mailboxes within the next week or so. They are being mailed tomorrow. And one final but very important note, I received a message from Orange Village resident, Dr. Stephen Insler, who is a staff anesthesiologist in the cardiothoracic intensive care unit at the Cleveland Clinic. And he asked that I share this message. Quote, can Orange Village please continue to message outside of City Hall and in newsletters, print, and email blasts the necessity for getting vaccinated and boosted? Our hospitals are reaching their limits. Not only are beds very tight, but the caregivers are getting sick, and there are not enough trained caregivers to take care of not just COVID, but those with heart disease, cancer, strokes, etc. Just because COVID is pervasive, other diseases aren't taking a break. Please help stress vaccines and masks for their families, loved ones, and for the good of the community. Too many are coming to us, thankful for us putting tubes and hoses into their loved ones, but don't trust some of the world's leading healthcare institutions and providers when they plead for the public to wear masks and get vaccinated. It's mind-boggling and very frustrating to the healthcare community when the majority of this could have been avoided by just getting vaccinated. It is no secret that healthcare providers are contracting COVID from overwhelming exposure from those flooding these emergency departments. The healthcare system is close to a breaking point. God help us all if it crashes. End quote. Dr. Insler said he will gladly serve as a resource for anyone who has any questions at all. Please help our doctors and healthcare workers to be there for others, vaccinate, mask, socially distance. And on that note, I wish everyone a healthy, happy 2022.
All right, thank you. With that said, I think we're done for the night. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Maybe there's a baby there if anybody wants to see. Amber,
Yeah.
is there a baby? There's a baby if anybody wants to see.
I'm staying
I
on.
want to see a baby.
Oh, we got a baby.